What up, Nick Nation? Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Hope you guys are doing good. Welcome to Straight Talk. I'm Juby the Tubi, family above everything. You already know. Knicks lose last night to Miami Heat, 115 to 110 behind RJ Barrett's 46 career high night. Quentin Grimes out for the season. Julius Randle had a bad game, but much more to talk about in a few minutes. Stick around, baby. What up, everybody? What's going on? We back, ladies and gentlemen. Like I just finished saying, Knicks fall last night to Miami, 115 to 110, behind RJ Barrett's career night, 46 points. Even Jimmy Butler saluted him, gave him kudos for everything he did. Knicks made a run in the third quarter, but unfortunately, Miami Heat offense was just too much for them. Tyler Hero off the bench, 20 plus points. Jimmy Butler, just an all-around offensive good game for Miami, even though they started off slow. The Knicks just couldn't get it together with the exception of RJ Barrett, man. RJ Barrett was on fire. He was driving the ball, shooting threes, making us know why he is the man now who stirs the drinks, Mr. Broadway himself. And Julius Randle just wasn't himself yesterday. He's allowed to have a bad game, so I'm not going to give him too much heat for that. But 1 for 11 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists. And Evan Fournier, 13 points. Mitchell Robinson was a no-show last night. Cam Reddish didn't really have an impact, but that's expected because he's not getting a lot of playing time. And also, Coach Thibodeau actually made some lineup changes. He went with the same, of course, Alex Burke in your starting rotation. But he did play Jericho Sims 18 minutes. So that was something completely new. Emmanuel quickly came off the bench as the relief point guard, and Alex Burke got the start. Let's get to the facts, ladies and gentlemen. Knicks still need help with the point guard. Unfortunately, we lost Quentin Grimes last night for the season with a dislocated patella in his knee, and Derrick Rose still has an infection in his surgery, where he got his surgery, and they said that he'll be back with about 10 games left in the season. I know us Knicks fans are very excited and optimistic about making it hopefully a final push to the play-in, but the skies look grim right now for New York. But wanted to take this time, man, to send prayers out to everybody overseas who's going through everything. It's a real serious thing out there, guys. I see a lot of videos and TikTok. Some people, making jokes and listen. Thankfully, here in the States, we're okay so far. So please be mindful and prayers go out to the family and the children of overseas, and hopefully everything gets situated and everything gets straightened out. But we're here to take your mind off of that stuff. We appreciate you guys. Like I said before on my previous show, I'm live streaming on Twitch 3 days a week, gaming and everything like that. So if you want to check me out, I'm affiliated right now. Would greatly appreciate it. But enough of that. Let's get Zen Ray in here, get his thoughts on last night's game, and he'll see where the Knicks stand.
The Knicks probably would have cut this game close and probably won. Welcome, Juby the Tubi, family above everything. Straight sports talk, New York. Welcome, RJ Barrett. That's the good news. The bad news that I forgot to mention earlier, we Derrick Rose had some kind of infection. He's going to be out another 10 to 12 games, and Grimes dislocated kneecap. We were hoping to see more of him in the youth. I was pleasantly surprised that he did do it. He didn't do it early. When you start Burks and you have Quickly as your point guard, it's not the answer, Juby. Where is Deuce McBride, Juby?
Uh, Listen, Tom Thibodeau, salute to you guys at Zenray Sports TV. Thank you for having me on. Listen, Tom Thibodeau said it before. He's a statistics guy, apparently, and he went with stats over anything. He doesn't care what the media says. He doesn't care what we say. He goes by stats and numbers, and based on his stats and numbers, the positives have always been good when Alex Burks is your starting point guard. I don't understand it. To me, I like Alex Burke with that second unit.
Oh
So
my God. I'm saying we see it time and time again. It does not work. Oil and water does not mix. He's not a point guard. Deuce McBride is a point guard. Yes, Cam Reddish and these young kids was a little lackadaisical, but you have to have these guys cohesively play together and play more and more in practice and in game time. The Knicks haven't done this. A little bit too late. You were heavy veterans early on, and now you expect to bring these young kids in and expect miracles. It's not going to happen. Bring Deuce McBride, have Cam Reddish play, have Obi and this kid's play for the last 2022 games, and let's see what they're made of, Juby. I don't understand what Thibodeau is not understanding. I don't understand what kind of conversation that Worldwide West and Leon Rose and management. It seems like they didn't get through. I don't know now with Grimes not in, you expect more time for Cam and Obi, and we should be seeing Deuce McBride. You see, Burks and Quickly is a spot up shooter. That's what he's good for, and it's taking him off his game because he has to do something that he is not comfortable in doing. He has to be a point guard. The Knicks need a point guard, dearly bad, and you have one, and he's sitting on the bench. Juby, I do not understand Knicks brass, Knicks management, Tom Thibodeau at this juncture. Maybe you're right. What you mentioned the other day, they're gonna play the way he plays, and hopefully they get a high draft pick. I hope that's not the case because tanking is not the answer.
well, it's not the answer, but unfortunately, that's the path that the Knicks management, Knicks Nation, we got to get accustomed to because that's the path we're headed, and fast. To start off with, Mitchell Robinson. Did you leave your hotel room last night? Did you check in? Because Jesus Christ, my friend, I've been giving you so much kudos as of lately. I don't know if something is bothering you, but to have 29 minutes with 9 rebounds and no points, no blocks,
Okay,
no
Juby,
nothing.
his father's missing. Juby,
No,
his
his
father's
father
missing.
was found. His father was found yesterday morning.
Okay, so even with that, him not sleeping and him not probably worried and this and that, and him is found, he's probably a little concerned why he was lost. There's a lot of internal stuff, family stuff that he probably didn't get resolved as of yet. So I can't blame anything on Mitchell Robinson. Listen,
That's
Randall
true.
had a bad game. Mitchell Robinson, his head was not in the game. Obviously, his mind is tied with his family. Burke shouldn't have been there. Fournier started picking up in the third quarter.
Ah,
Knicks Nation, Knicks team, they will try to come back in that third quarter. They scored 30 points. but you give up 25. So RJ Barrett was the key and catalyst of the team. He was the lone wolf who was attacking the Heat, and everybody else was just watching and hoping that Barrett would bring a win for the Knicks. And this is a team sport. And like I mentioned before, when you have 18 turnovers, it's like any game or any sport. In football, if you have turnovers, the chance of you winning, giving the other teams another chance to score, is very unlikely to win the game. In baseball, you make an error. What happens? You get a runner on, and you get another base batter on the plate that can do damage, and you're not getting outs. And in basketball, once again, if you turn the ball over, you give them second-hand opportunities. They had 13 steals. 13 steals. We had
Ridiculous.
18 turnovers. We missed 10 free throws. They dominated us in the points in the paint, 54-24. That's the lack of effort of having no big guy there. Nerlens Noel, at the end of the year, if you can get something for him, you have to ship him out of here. Sims obviously is not ready. He's learning on the go. I can't blame Sims. Mitchell Robinson has family issues. He probably shouldn't have been playing, but he played. Juby, there's a lot of answers that need to be resolved. At this juncture, just play the darn young kids. Play them all the way through. Have RJ lead these kids, because RJ right now is the leader of this Knick team.
Well, he shows why he's the man. He's the man of New York. He's the, like, we used to call Julius Randle the man who stirs the drink. I think that torch has been passed down. R.J. Barrett is excelling in every way. He got props and praise from Jimmy Butler last night. What a tremendous matchup between those two guys. But Derrick Rose unfortunately is going to be out for a little while, like you said. He caught an infection in the area where he had the surgery, so he had to have a minor procedure done. And it's sad that Quentin Grimes definitely went out. But I got to tell you guys, and I know he's come on here and we like him from time to time, but I'm tired. Me personally, I'm tired of the have one good game, have 6 bad games. This offseason, if I'm Knick management, I'm going to evaluate my roster. And besides Nerlens Noel, like you said, Zenray, I think Evan Fournier is not built. I don't care if you guys say he's the Frenchman. He's the man a good shooter. He's a streaky shooter. He can have a great game one night and be horrible for 10 games. And then we praise him when he has one good game. The man needs to be moved. Package that guy with Nerlens Noel next season and do something. Because obviously he's the reason Cam Reddish is going to have a delay in his progress in this team. And maybe Cam Reddish's future is not with this team. Maybe we use Cam Reddish to get something else. I'm not even going to close that door. But they need to do something because besides point guard, we know that's a big issue. There's a lot of holes in this team. That the Evan Fournier is just not working for me. And I think management, if they can go back, I think they probably would say they kind of regret giving that contract to Evan Fournier. But I'm pretty sure, hopefully there's teams out there that need a shooter, somebody who's a streaky shooter. When he's hot, and when he's off the way he was last night. Because 13 points is just not going to cut it for being how much did he get this offseason when we signed him?
Almost $19 million.
Only $19 million a season. I mean, give me a break. I mean, come on, guys.
Yeah, okay. He was 30% from 3-point range, and he was 5 of 16 from the field. He was not effective. Like you say, his hit or miss. I think the Knicks are going to do something if they can package something with Fournier. Even Randall could probably throw in the mix, because I'm hearing hot and heavy that the Knicks are heavy for Zion and
I'm hearing that too.
And the guy from Utah, can't think of Donovan Mitchell.
Spider Mitchell.
Yeah, and Lillard might be available too. So you're gonna have a 3-headed monster that you got a choice of making some moves, and you start with your best player, because right now I don't think Obi Toppin looks like he's the answer, but he hasn't been given the opportunity. And Cam Reddish, for God's sakes, you don't know anything about Cam Reddish until you give him more time and more kind of a continuous kind of flow with the team and the same guys over and over again. I don't think he's a spot starter, I think he's the kind of guy you have to put him in the starting lineup and let him evolve with Barrett. And if you can get Zion on here and have those 3 guys from Duke here, I think the chemistry will build real fast with this team. Have Grimes there, and hopefully we'll see what Deuce has. But right now, look, the Knicks are playing for hopefully something, maybe a playing game. But the way they've been playing, losing at the Garden again, they're 25-35, Juby. And the Miami Heat up their record to 39-21. we lost 115-100. We got blown out, obviously. In that fourth quarter, we had difficulties. We looked good in that first quarter, but Miami Heat came back strong in that second, and they kind of took over the game. We were losing by 10. I think it was 65-55 at half. And then we made a run in the third quarter. R.J. Barrett was trying to just do the lone man wolf type of thing, and
He was
Juby,
trying,
I don't
man.
know. Go ahead. I continue. I can't say this is a team concept, and once again we go back to the turnovers. 18 turnovers. You're not going to win too many games, and they only lost by 15. 18 turnovers, 13 steals on you that accumulated with those turnovers as well. So, Juby, they played a bad game, not only defensively, but they couldn't hold on to the ball. It's like a hot potato.
Listen, again, Alex Burke was your starting point guard. Emmanuel Quickly is not a point guard, ladies and gentlemen. We all know that. Knicks are trying, like you said, Knicks are trying to make him into a point guard. That is not his style of play. He's a scorer. He's a Lou Williams. For you guys know, that is a perfect example of what Emmanuel Quickly can be with given the opportunity. He is not a starting point guard. He's not a reserve point guard. And Alex Burke is sure as hell not a starting point guard. At this point, they 100% should have started Deuce McBride. And then if you want to throw in Alex Burke as your while McBride is getting a couple of breaks in the wind, sitting down, that's understandable. But Tom Thibodeau, man, we all know this. We've said this before on this show. He has a lot of respect in the NBA. Us Knicks fans like him because he brought us to the playoffs last year and there's ties with the organization. The fact of the matter is he's a coach that gets you to the front of the door, gets you to the finish line, but cannot cross you over that finishing line. And besides changes to the roster with which we desperately need a point guard, in my opinion. And Nerlens Noel looked very unhappy yesterday. Let me just say that. They showed him on the bicycle on multiple occasions yesterday, and he looked like he was just really aggravated. And so I wouldn't even be surprised if he's gone too. But this continues down this path. I've said it before. They mentioned the coach on a couple of other podcasts who are interested in, fans are interested in him becoming the new head coach. And I can't think of his name right now. I apologize, but he's a young coach. Young guys respect him. That's who Nick Nation wants to coach the new Knicks, the youngsters. But until then, we got Tom Thibodeau. He bended a little bit yesterday, playing Jericho Sims for 18 minutes. When I saw Deuce McBride come in, I was like, finally a Deuce McBride sighting. And I thought he was going to get some heavy minutes after that first half. And wouldn't you know it, 2 minutes the whole entire game. The guy shot one time, if I'm not mistaken. I saw Deuce McBride shoot one three-pointer, missed, and that was it. So, and then Obi Toppin, like I said, he just looks... He looks like he doesn't know what the team wants from him. He doesn't know what his role is. Cam Reddish doesn't know what his role is. And this is the problem. Players on the Knicks staff, they don't know what their roles are. Besides Julius Randle, who overuses his role, they don't know nobody knows what their role is on this team anymore.
Totally agree. Obi Toppin, for me, he's not aggressive. When he grabs the ball, he tosses it back to the point guard. Like, he doesn't want to do too much of the ball. He's reminding me a little bit of Skywalker, the slam dunk champion who can dunk and do all these things, but doesn't assert himself to the next level. I don't know if that because Thibodeau is afraid of getting benched because Thibodeau may see something he wants to create and do, or maybe he's not in the game plan when he's out there with Quickly. He lets Quickly have the ball. Quickly, they're very good friends, but I don't understand. He doesn't assert himself to get points. That 3-point shot has to go from Obi. That can't be part of your arsenal. Your arsenal is to get down low and dominate with your power and with your sky leaping. You can't be shooting 3-pointers. It's not your game. When he bombs that away, I'm saying, Obi, that's not your shot. Drive, penetrate, pass the ball, alley-oop, try something. I think he's like a deer in headlights. He's scared to do more than what the coach is asking him to do in practice. So he's just doing the minimum. I think you're right. You get a young coach here, he's going to explore and he's going to work with these young kids and find out their strong suits and use it to their benefit. Thibodeau doesn't know how to make those adjustments, how to use a Obi in his strong suit and put him in a game. How to use a Cam Reddish in his strong suit and play a game. I love the fact that I saw Cam Reddish making a lot of defensive deflections, and he had like a 2-on-1 going down with Barrett. You can see the timing was off when he went down there. He kind of got slapped with the slam dunk he tried to do when Barrett dished it off to him in that fast break. There's a lot of confusion yet going on here, and the dust is only going to clear, or the smoke, or that tunnel, that light in the tunnel is not lit yet because these youngsters are not playing together. Let me make another point about Burks. Burks is only averaging 10.9 points per game for the Knicks, 4.5 rebounds, only 2.6 assists a game. If you look at his percentage, he's only shooting 38 from 3, 38 from the field. He has he's played 1,578 minutes for the Knicks this year. He's played against the Heat 34 minutes, against the Nets 26 minutes, against the Thunder 27 minutes, Trailblazers 21 minutes, and the Warriors 25 minutes. He's using him. Why in other teams in the past, he's been in the league for almost 12 years, they use him as a bench player coming in for 5, 10, maybe 15 minutes. Tom Thibodeau is overusing him, and he's using him in an area where he is not his strong suit. The same
That's
thing
right.
with Quickly.
That's right.
Oil and water don't mix, Juby, and the oil and water in Quickly and the oil and water in Burks is not mixing as a point guard. Deuce McBride, bring him in. You have nothing to lose at this juncture.
The players are scared, Zen Ray. I'll be honest with you. Obi Toppin, that's to me, that's what I see.
Yep.
And I'm not putting words in anybody's mouth, and I'm not, criticizing anybody and saying this is exactly what's happening. But when I watch Obi Toppin's game from last season to this season, or his college games, he was a man who had his back to the basket. He was a man that they created plays for, where he drove the ball in, where he put the ball between his legs and he was dunking the ball. All that is gone. And I honestly think is because Tom Thibodeau said, I want you to do A and B and nothing else. If I see you doing C, you already know what's going to happen. So when you're a player who's desperate for minutes and is trying to get some playing time, you're going to do whatever the boss says. If the boss says, pick this garbage up from the floor and throw it in the trash for me, you're going to do it. Luckily, R.J. Barrett stood up for himself and said, you know what? I'm the man. I want to be the man. I believe in myself. I believe in this team. And we saw what he's doing last night. And it's just not last night. The man's been doing it time and time again. Mr. Clutch, Mr. Broadway. As far as Alex Burke, man, he's a good, like you said, come in couple 8-9 minutes. If you're hot, you get those points in. If you're not, get back to the bench and let the guys do their job. But when you got somebody like Mr. 1 every 7 games, Evan Fournier, who's your starting shooting guard, and what can you possibly say? The Knicks thought they went out there this past offseason and brought back some offensive power. In my opinion, offensively, I mean, we know defensively they went bad. Offensively, I think the team took a turn for the worst than last season. I know they're scoring in points, but I've seen in different games in that fourth quarter where they go on droughts, where they can't score nothing. And that is because Alex Burke is running the point, or Julius is trying to play all 5 positions in 1 second, and he's bobbling the ball. So enough is enough. Let's just let the young kids play. We'll be happy if we don't make the play, and as long as we see McBride and we see what the potential of this team, the identity of this team is moving forward, I think us Knicks fans can say, you know what, we'll take the L, we'll take the loss. Next season will be better. But if you continue playing Alex Burke, giving him 25 minutes, and you keep seeing the same song and dance, you look at yourself and say, who is this team? What is this team? And where do we go as fans? And where do they go as a team and players?
I totally agree. Look, right now, we're going to say this over and over again. Play these young kids. See what you have in them. Look, this Knicks team is no match for the teams like Brooklyn. They can't even beat the Trailblazers. They can't beat anyone because we mentioned it earlier. You mentioned it more. You hit it on the head. No identity, number one. Julius Randle is not the same man last year. The good thing of this year that we've seen that every year RJ Barrett is getting better. Look, RJ Barrett just came back from an injury and he just pumped in 46 points. 46 points, okay? Okay, 46 points. And if you look at his numbers, he had he was 13 from 22 from the field, 6 for 11 from the 3-point range. His free throws, he missed about 8 free throws. 14 from 22. That needs to improve. He had 9 rebounds. He had 2 assists. He only had 3 turnovers. Uh 46 points. He was not only doing it on the defensive end, he was doing it on the offensive end. This is a true leader who has heart and soul. He is like the Derek Jeter of a New York team. Probably elevated a little more to a little more talent. When you talk about that draft with Morant and Zion and Barrett, people said Zion Morant was the guy that everybody should have picked. Now Barrett is proving that he's up there with Morant in terms of what he can do. Two different players, but Barrett can win you games in different ways that Morant does it. Morant's more of athletics, kind of a showman, and in terms of passing the ball and also in slamming the ball and getting other players involved. Barrett is that brute muscle who can pass, who can shoot, who can play defense. So right now, if you go back on the draft, it's a toss of a finger for me, Morant and Barrett, and then unfortunately Zion has improved enough to say that he's.
I was gonna say I think if you go back to that draft, I think it'll be Morant one only because he's a point guard, and that's why I'll say that. And he's athletic. Then I would take R.J. Barrett number 2, and then Zion number 3. Listen, there's a lot of rumors. I'm not gonna touch up on that today, guys. We're gonna leave that for 100 and I can bet anything that we're gonna have this discussion in a few months. That Zion wants to come to New York. That New York wants Zion. It's been the inevitable. Will it happen? I don't know. Could it happen? Sure. Do we want it to happen? Nobody has seen Zion Williams. Even their new player that they just acquired, CJ McCollum, they asked him, "Have you in the All Star weekend? Have you spoken to Zion?" And he said, "Nobody. No, that he's spoken to people of his camp, but he has not spoken directly to Zion. Something is going on there." He's not having no media. I don't know if he's on a strict diet and he's just trying to get his health under control. Because we all seen him balloon this past season to a weight that's unacceptable on a professional level. But salute to him. The guy's very talented if he stays healthy, and I wouldn't mind doing a Julius Randle for Zion swap. You know what I'm saying? Like throw in Evan Fournier in there, and I don't even know, but. As long as the man is healthy, as long as his weight is down to at least where he started in the NBA, even though when he came in, they said that he should be a little bit 30 pounds less than what he started. But the guy looks like a heavyweight boxer the last time I saw him. And it's not good for your health, not good for your knees, especially when you're a high flyer like Zion Williams is. So hopefully he got a nutritionist and he's doing the right things. And as far as us, Knick Nation, like I said, don't keep your head, don't get dark and gloom. We do have some positive stuff this season. We did see R.J. Barrett improve. We did see Obi Toppin win the lackluster dunk contest. But if you watch those dunks in slow motion, those are some incredible dunks. Because I've watched them over and over, and he doesn't get enough credit for what he did. He's just that there was no competition for the guy. So we'll see what happens. It's gonna be a long off season, but me and my partner here, Zenri, will always have something to talk about. We'll always have rumors. We'll still continue doing this show this season, and we'll look for the positive stuff and the negatives. And we love what we do, and we love chatting with you guys.
Yeah, I agree. My sentiments are to you and your fan base on Family Above Everything, New York Straight Sports Talk, New York. And let me just go over Jimmy Butler. The product from Marquette, 23 points in that starting lineup, 49 points off the bench the Heat had, leading by Tyler Hero with his 25. And then you have Bam Adebayo with 16, Lowry with 19. Just a balanced team. When you score 49 points off the bench and your leading guy off the bench, Tyler Hero, is 25, and then Butler was battling, like you mentioned earlier in the show, with Barrett. That was fun to watch. They were giving respects to each other, and you're talking about Butler, who is a seasoned veteran. He's drafted back in 2011, a Marquette product, and I love the fact that went back and forth. Jimmy Butler is a star, and you know, we have an upcoming star in RJ Barrett. That was fun to see. Yes, we didn't win the game. We're not a very good team. Let's face it, Nick Nation. The only thing I have to say is never give up. Never give up. Knowing that the best is yet to come with love, peace, and gratitude. Juby, thanks for coming on. I don't know what else you want to say before we depart.
All good, brother. Like I said, keep your heads up. Be safe out there, guys, and family above everything. You already know.
All right, Juby. Thanks
Later, brother.
for your time. We'll see you soon.
See you soon. Later. Later. All right, guys, that was Zenray with Zenray Sports TV. Listen, we got some work to be done. Things need to happen. Changes need to be done, but we know that. Will they happen? Not quickly enough. But don't worry, we'll still bring you everything here. We'll still have news. We'll still have rumors. We'll still have laughs on this channel. If you guys want to catch me on Twitch, where I do a live stream, I'm also doing a giveaway on that channel today. I just became affiliated. A lot of fun, a lot of laughs, a lot of toxicity. We do some competitive, some fun. Definitely check us out. Check me out, excuse me, at Juby the Tubi on twitch.tv. Link is in the bio. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate you guys. Be safe out there. Keep your mind occupied. Be with your family. And as always, family above everything. Peace, guys.
We are the New York Knicks.